Yeah, talking about the fee aspect, actually,
Yeah.
one thing is, this is run by a foundation,
Yeah.
and it's probably 3-4 times lesser than other entrepreneurship programs.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing that kind of interests me is even state level normal colleges that offer MBA via PGCET or many other things, whose strike rate in terms of either entrepreneurship or even the job placements is probably less than 10%, or even a lot of them zero. So probably they are charging more than what Midas charges for this 1 year PGDME course, because
Right. Right.
it's a 2 year course,
Right.
and if you calculate from 1 year perspective, this works out uh, even better.
Absolutely. So one thing that we have consciously kept it to a point that can be sort of affordable. At the same time, we want students to take, because see, even honestly, between you and us, we know that even if a student does an MBA in a particular college, there is still uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
The college not necessarily guarantee you a CTC, and many of the students who say that I paid 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs for a college, and they say placed, but their ROI is not there. They'll probably get 5 lakhs CTC, 6 lakhs, and they're happy.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just a tick in the list, right? Saying that it's placed. But on the contrary, our thing is, that's why I said we won't really compare the program we offer with an MBA, because the entire mindset changes. Right? The entire mindset is quite different. Here, the idea is to look at somebody who can sort of create jobs, right? And once you become a founder, you cannot run it all by yourself. You have to have a team. You will recruit and you will contribute to the nation's growth in some sense, right? So whereas on the other hand, you notice job seekers' mindset is very different, which is why I said, unless we really understand the student who wants to take up this program, they will be the right fit for taking it. As a thing.
And looking at our strike rate, probably we can, for the practical purposes, we can say it's more than 99%, because everybody who has gone through the course has come out as an entrepreneur.
Yes, barring maybe 3-4 kids, who have really kids. Out of this. So the thing is, that's why I said, in fact, there's a lot of debate on whether entrepreneurs can be created, right? That's a big thing that happens. Some argue saying no, the Elon Musk types, who are born thing, but everything is trainable, right? Even he's trained himself. It's not that he was not born as it. So the thing is, there is a lot to do with how this has to be tweaked. And apparently our education system has sort of failed students to really get the entrepreneurial mindset. It's actually probably a life skill, I would say, which has to be incorporated right from the school. Of course, NEP talks about it, but that's something that was missing, right? So, so the way we have designed it, every year we sort of tweak, we evolve the module in a way that is sort of adaptable and meant for that age. So a lot of students who come from family businesses have started their own startups. And one very unique thing that I want to highlight is that this is not just come with an idea and we'll sort of mentor you and things. This is, in fact, I would say 2 steps behind the idea to actually map your personality with the idea that you generate.
Right.
Definitely. So there's a lot to do with, because ultimately that's your fuel, that passion that you come with and you are happy with it. Because I find a lot of engineers who did engineering and then they sort of pivoted and started their startup with a completely different new area, right? So that only showed that they were passionate about it. It's just that engineering happened to be a chance, kind of. It was not a choice.
It is interesting that you spoke about how the curriculum tweaks itself to match the current trend or whatever is happening in the industry. Because I think one major factor that plays out here is these are the coaches who come here and who train students or who coach students are not again professors who read textbooks and come. They're having their own startup or firm in this field, and they come and teach you. So
at least 2 or 3 businesses they've managed and headed founders of at least 2-3 startups, because the kind of learning that you get, the cumulative learning that you can get from these guys are humongous. I mean, probably that is not available in the colleges.
So, and it's very natural that they adapt the trends and come and teach here because they do it every day.
For example, exactly.
last week the digital marketing coach was here,
Yeah.
and he has his own digital marketing firm.
Right,
so
right.
it's not, he's not a professor in a university
Yeah.
reading textbooks and teaching digital
Why do you
marketing.
think there's a lot of gap between academia and industry? Even today, we're not able to bridge it. That's simply because we need more of people from the industry taking sessions. Apparently, that somewhere that is
that connection between industry and academics.
Yes, there's a big gap. So how do we actually fix this? By actually getting people on the industry, and industry people don't really want to work unless it makes sense to them. And probably it's a good thing, but I think government is taking a lot of initiative to get people from industry to work with colleges, but it's still in the paper but not really implemented well. So that's of course a very valid point, where students get to learn from the people who have been there and done that. So that makes a lot of sense.
Still doing that, actually.
Still doing that.
Yeah.
That's right.